by a vote of the majority. The chairperson and a tiny minority of commissioners have no legal authority to take weighty decisions and proclaim them as the rulings of the IEBC. The law on the IEBC provides that unless a unanimous decision is reached, a decision on any matter before the Commission shall be by a majority of the members present and voting. I want to repeat. Unless a unanimous decision is reached, a decision on any matter before the Commission shall be by a majority of the members present and voting. In addition, the Court of Appeal in the Maina Kiai case ruled, and I quote again, reiterate, as we conclude, that there is no doubt from the architecture of the laws we have considered that the people of Kenya did not intend to vest or concentrate such sweeping and boundless powers in one individual, that is the chairperson of the appellant. That is why I and Azimio La Umoja One Kenya and the nation at large were shocked yesterday to learn that Mr. Chebukati alone decided to pronounce himself on the supposed winner of the 2022 presidential elections. We understand that only Mr. Chebukati alone had access to the tally of the presidential vote. He denied all the commissioners access to that information until he suddenly appeared before the commissioners in the late afternoon to present them with a fait accompli.
The Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Airlines Company Limited has declared to Parliament how she did not follow a formal procedure to acquire her job. Appearing before the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, Jennifer Bamturachi and officials from Uganda Airlines informed the MPs that they were implementing a presidential order. COSASE, chaired by Member of Parliament Joel Senyonyi, tasked CEO Jennifer Bamturachi to avail her academic credentials to the committee in its next sitting.
After the position of the Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Airlines fell vacant, a search for the new CEO was initiated and 40 people tendered in their respective qualifications. Jennifer Bamturachi, who held the position on interim basis, had intentions of applying for the CEO of the national carrier. Little did she know that luck would befall her.
The process was in very early stages because they were supposed to receive all applications and shortlist the people that they wanted and only bring forth to us for action. That had been the procedure put in place.
Then allow me to ask her direct. Madam Jennifer, I'm sorry, I don't have something personal against you. Are you among the 40 Ugandans who had also shown an interest in to be the CEO of Uganda Airlines?
Did you apply, in other words?
No, I didn't. Because the day I was going to apply, I was appointed.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer and some officials from Uganda Airlines appeared before Parliament's Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprise to clear the air on the recruitment of the CEO of the national carrier. The officials revealed how the process was interfered by a presidential directive which opted that Jennifer Bamturachi should grab the position.
In the middle of that process, that's when the directive came.
COSASE, chaired by Nakawa West Member of Parliament, also questioned the salary disparities at Uganda Airlines following an Auditor General's report, which asserts that the airlines has no approved salary and staff structure, which makes it to incur excess expenditure amounting to over 4 billion shillings.
When the interim board came in, the former CEO was earning 126 million shillings. Now...
Come again?
Yes.
CEO Jennifer Bamuturachi, who earns 87 million shillings monthly, says plans to have a revised salary and staff structure is underway and to be completed by the end of 2022.
So until that process is complete, then we'll be able to have one design based on their findings.
If you want to turn around this entity, begin by fixing the question of staff. So let's have that staff structure available within a month from today, without fail. That's a directive we are giving as a committee.
Jennifer Bamuturachi was also a former AD to the former Uganda Airlines boss Conwell Muleya, who was recently sacked. The MPs have demanded that Ms. Jennifer presents her credentials during the next engagement with COSASE. Daniel Mugoya, Greta Gwitabinji, UBC News.
And now the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, hosted Uganda Jubilee Network leaders and intercessors at State House Nakasero on Friday ahead of the annual 50-day fast leading up to Independence Day. She appreciated the decision by Uganda Jubilee Network to focus on the upcoming prayer and fasting season on the education sphere and asked them to especially pray for the young generation in schools and higher institutions of learning and young Ugandans generally.
My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name, on Christ the solid rock.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, hosted the Uganda Jubilee Network leaders and intercessors at State House Nakasero. This was ahead of the annual 50-day fast leading up to Independence Day. The First Lady appreciated the decision by Uganda Jubilee Network to focus the upcoming prayer and fasting season on the education sphere and asked them to especially pray for the young generation in schools and higher institutions of learning and young Ugandans generally.
We have a generation of young people in this country really who have absolutely no knowledge of God. And they don't know what to do. They don't know, but we also don't know how to direct them to places where we think they can be helped. We have many young people who are beginning to work even, who are getting into these offices, who don't know anything about God, who just know that all they need to do is get money. And whichever way they get money, it's okay as long as they get it. People who are God-fearing and who care about the direction of our homeland must worry now. And we must take our worry to God in prayer. And so I'm so thankful that we have this opportunity to meet just to pray and to ask God to guide us, to lead us to know what to do, to just give ourselves to God and say we are here for you to use. We are willing to do your will. Guide us, show us the way. How can we really guide our young people, our young generation, to be God-fearing and to know that their lives are better off knowing God.
Mrs. Museveni thanked Uganda Jubilee Network for being faithful and praying for the Ministry of Education and Sports over the years without ceasing.
I thank you, Dr. Magara, and your team, that you are there for our country, that you are the ones who worry, who fast, who pray, who take our concerns to God and not give up year after year. We are truly blessed to have you and your team. That you have been faithful to pray for Ministry of Education all these years is something we can never thank you enough.
Dr. James Magara, Board Chair, Uganda Jubilee Network, said that the focus of this year's prayer and fasting season is the education sphere, with the theme laying new foundations for the education sphere and the next generation.
The focus of this year's prayer and fasting season is the education sphere, with the theme laying new foundations for the education sphere and the next generation. This is based on Isaiah 58 verse 12. Those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you'll be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance is proposing harmonization of all bills in the digital transformation that will encompass all proposed amendments in that line to avoid duplication. Appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on ICT, officials from the Ministry of ICT, led by Minister Joyce Nabosa, consulted with the Committee on halting the current proposed amendments by Kampala MP Mohamed Sereko. The Permanent Secretary of Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, says the intention is not to sabotage but harmonize the two amendments to avoid duplication of the laws. Dr. Zawede says the ministry is reviewing several laws critically to come up with one encompassing law that on all existing laws. In the proposed bill by the ministry currently being worked on is the Information and Communication Bill.
We have brought up the fact that some of the proposals in Honorable Mohammed's amendment are already existing in certain laws. So we want, and then that would create more overlaps. But now we are saying, no, we want to create one whole encompassing bill within the digital transformation space that can also incorporate Honorable Sereko's suggestions so that we avoid duplication. So that one encompassing bill that we are working on is called the Information and Communications Bill. So as soon as we have that, it will be talking to everything, the data protection and privacy, the information, the computer misuse, journalism act, etc. So that at the end of the day, within the sector, we avoid all the duplication that currently exists. And not yet swallowing, we are proposing that we have a halt on proceeding with this bill and we consider having a harmonized one. So this is a consultative engagement. We are talking to the members of parliament. We are going to engage Honorable Sereko, who is a mover of this bill. Cabinet is also aware, so that at the end of the day we harmonize our positions.
Their recommendation to the committee is that we should halt discussions on the misuse amendment bill and wait for their bill, which is in cabinet. Of course, now that is their presentation to the committee. The committee is going to sit and deliberate on their request, whether they should wait for them or we should proceed with the bill. That will be discussions after we've met the stakeholders this week.
Nekubanga yagireeta tulina okukolera awamu naye tujja kutuula naye tulabe nga tutambulira wamu tukiriziganye mu bintu byonna biba byetaagisa tulabe nga biru yaffe evaayo nga naye akkiriza ali satisfied yagireeta ate nga ne ministry naffe tuli satisfied okuba nti egenda kutukolera bulungi.
Now, top government and NRM officials, including the Vice President Jessica Lupo, NRM First National Vice Chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo, and the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, had thronged Busongora South constituency in Kasese District to drum up support for the NRM candidate in the by-election, Gideon Muchungu. The officials assured the people of Busongora South of better service delivery once they elect the ruling NRM candidate in Thursday's poll. Now, today marks the last day rather for the campaigns in Busongora South Today marks the last day for the campaigns. The Busongora South MP seat fell vacant after court nullified the elections on grounds of malpractice.
It was a busy day in Busongora South constituency as top NRM bosses thronged Kasese for the last day campaigns. The Vice President Jessica Alupo, who represented President Museveni, attended the first rally at Karusantara Primary School, where she assured the people of Busongora on government's commitment to improve service.
Water for irrigation and water for domestic use. Indi mukalwa amatambiriro imwarwa maete awakaseserero mamarema kandi imwarwa na maete watu kapolisayo manyumba yetu. And all those points were raised by the LOC1 chairman, the LOC3 chairman and the LOC5 chairman. Kandi pointe zona kiamanu wetu wa local council wanu oya kasatu hamuna jamani oya katanu bazireho kurunga. So as government we are here today to tell you, the people of Kasurandara and the people of Kasese, that government will continue extending those services to you.
Karusantara, that means floods, is the sub-county that is one of the most affected with the floods, and Alupo pledged that the government will desilt all the rivers in the area to reduce on floods.
Water does not disturb you when you're in the garden or when you're even at home. So I want to make a commitment that government will desilt all the rivers so that water will be passing where it's supposed to pass, and then you do economic activity in Karusantara properly.
Karusantara, which is also occupied by the Naniva Konjo, has more than 30 different tribes that President Museveni asked them to unite and concentrate on eradicating poverty.
President Museveni asked me to tell you that he knows that here in Kasese, there are Bakonjo, there are Basongora, there are Batoro, there are Banyankole, there are Bachiga, there are Bafumbira, there are Batuku, there are Bamba, there are Batwa, Babuisi, Banyoro. And he's saying that all these people have been united over the years. They are still united now, and you must remain united.
Alupo was later joined by the Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, who promised to implement all the pledges made by the President.
This is Prime Minister. Nekwanagana nekitongole chaitu oba Ministry ya Disaster Preparedness. Itukwatagana na Ministry ya Works. Kokwa bagambire ira. Tumashire ya kora plan enyeba kweta desilting. Kwiya mwebitaka. Okuli haikuru mubuku nukwa amaizi galebe kushandara kuja kuterebaniza abantu.
Meanwhile, the first national NRM vice chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo campaigned at Katunguru in Lake Katwe sub-county.
Ndi wano olwa movement yetwalwanirira netubeera wano nga tulwana netugituuse Kampala netuwamba obuyinza netuba tukyagitwala mu maaso kyekinkomyawo.
Present was the Minister for ICT and NRM National Vice Chairperson for Western, Dr. Chris Bariomusi, ministers, members of Parliament and NRM district officials. Philip Aguta and Moses Mutabali for UBC News in Kasese.
And our Uganda Police has enrolled 40 senior officers to attend a Master's Command and Directive course to match the modern dynamic policing demands. The Police Director of Human Resource Development, Godfrey Goloba, challenged police officers to develop new policing policies that address the dynamic crime environment.
Enrolled officers range from the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police, Superintendent of Police, Senior Superintendent of Police, and Assistant Commissioners of Police.
In institutional leadership and management, customized to to policing.
These are to focus on new methods of research, modern policy designing and management. While officiating the beginning of this course at Webaja Police Senior Staff Training College, the Police Director Human Resource Development, Godfrey Golova, urged to these selected senior officers to utilize acquired knowledge to design new police policies which beat security demands.
But we look at out there and need solutions. We are going to send them here for you or to you to think through, and that's how other countries do it. They use the schools to come out with the, better practices, good policies. So we expect a lot from you.
The training of these officers is projected to boost the senior police administration and limiting artificial administration vacuum. The force is partnering with different universities to offer expertise.
The officers thinking through a challenge as they perform their duties in order to perfect or to make it, close to what the standards are.
These 40 officers will spend a year at the Police Senior and Staff Training College, Webaja. Some police officers have been serving as RPCs, DPCs, and in other high positions in the police force. Abdul Nasile Lubwama, UBC News.
Now, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has urged Ugandans to support innovations that support the country to attain Vision 2040. He was gracing at the Banana Industrial Research Development Center Thanksgiving ceremony in Bushenyi District.
The Banana Industrial Research Development Center, BADIC, a presidential initiative, was set up to add value to bananas produced in Western Kwale region. The Director General, Dr. Florence Muranga, says the institute utilizes 10 tons of matoke on a daily basis, from which they produce a variety of products.
Because we used to throw away all the cold food. So when you cook and cool the food, you also get and dry it. You get a magic flour. That flour is it's like milk. When you put it in hot water, it just dissolves away. And that's what makes us our instant porridge and our instant muumbo.
While gracing a grand Thanksgiving ceremony in Bushenyi, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, applauded the Institute's effort towards the development of the country and called upon the general public to support it.
We should love our country. We should love men and women who are contributing something to develop our country. We should support them. We shouldn't really pull them down. You know, we have many PhDs holders today. When someone is going up, they are pulling them, the PhD, pull him down, pull her down.
Igara East Constituency Member of Parliament, Michael Mawanda, says, with this innovation, there will be no wastage of matoke since they have ready market.
We have all along been losing our matoke due to lack of market. And the president has been advocating for value addition. They have added value to our matoke. Now that they have transformed themselves into a commercial entity, we expect them to produce a lot of matoke in the form of flour that will be sold locally and internationally. This will definitely create employment and also income to our people.
Former Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Rhoda Ngonzi, emphasized the need for increased production of processed matoke to address the challenges of hunger and research.
Uganda is the second largest producer of bananas in the world, second to China. And therefore, that's even when our production is so low. So if we put in irrigation, if we put in fertilizers, we plant the right varieties of bananas with proper spacing, we can even be the first in the world. And we can supply the world with banana flour, banana products.
10 million was collected during the occasion. Mary Namkose in Bushenyi district.
Imba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using 2 Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here?
He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 #, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. Now, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's a full-time job to be a great parent or guardian. The decisions we make impact their lives forever, and getting a birth certificate is one of the most important ones. All you need to do is get a birth notification record stamped by a medical officer from the hospital where the baby was born, or from the sub-county chief in case it occurred at home. Go to the NERA offices in your area and present the notification record, copy of parent's ID, and bank payment slip of 5,000 Ugandan shillings for citizens and $40 for non-citizens. Fill NERA Form 3 while there, and a birth certificate will be issued to you. Please note that birth certificates to refugees born in Uganda are free of charge. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call 0800 211 700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs.
Forget every moment that stole the show, because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed, and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions, plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Welcome back. This is still news tonight. Makerere University has signed a memorandum of understanding with Total Energies EP on various education and skilling initiatives targeting students at the institution's different colleges. The MOU will create a framework of collaboration on diverse segments.
A recent Ministry of Health report, Uganda is in the process of strengthening emergency medical services with focus on infrastructure, and as a collaborative activity, Makerere University has made enormous contribution to human capacity development and general economic and social growth. Ahead of 100 years centenary Makerere celebrations, Total Energies EP Uganda has signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at reinforcing their partnership.
Coming in to work with the government of Uganda to support their current efforts to re-equip the School of Emergency Medicine. And as you know, critical care is very, very important. It's first-line support to saving lives, and it's very, very important.
This will create a framework of collaboration on diverse segments and refurbish the Ivory Tower.
To underpin our collaboration in a number of areas, aimed firstly at enriching the education, research and capacity development of youth talents. It's also meant to provide support to the School of Public Health.
In his speech, Makerere University Vice Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe was optimistic the partnership will place the university to another level.
The MOU that we have signed today brings a lot of hope in the development, further development in the area of energy, research and innovation in the area of energy. But you mentioned emergency medicine. We have also signed an agreement that is going to support the development of emergency medicine at Makerere University. Population is growing. We are bringing here industries that are new, including the area of oil and the gas, and there will definitely be emergencies in all these industries that are coming up. And therefore, the development of emergency medicine is extremely important for us. You can even argue that emergency medicine is because of the lifestyle. We were not producing oil before. We are now going to produce oil. And there will be situations where you need emergency services.
In 2022, Makerere University is celebrating 100 years of service to humanity. It was established in January 1922 as a technical school, opening its doors to 14-day students who began studying carpentry, building and mechanics. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Now, UDN is calling for urgent government action on coding and feeding of both community and early learning schools in Karamoja sub-region. UDN Quality Assurance Manager Gilbert Musinguzi says the number of learners supersedes the capacity to facilitate the process. He was speaking to UBC in Kampala on solving the feeding problem in the region.
Of course, poverty is a teething issue and remains a critical issue in Karamoja. Is that the children are not coming to school because, one, there are no meals at home, and therefore the parents are not in a position to contribute towards the school feeding program.
For the last 2 months, famine in Karamoja has affected the education sector, keeping learners away from school. Recent reports on death from hunger in Karamoja has spurred civil society to call for government's intervention to strategically address the problem.
When we talk about all the development partners that have given food, we talked of World Food Program, Save the Children, there's Rhinelands, there are many others, some which provide. But this budget support, off-budget support, needs not to be considered as a panacea to these problems, because government has the responsibility as the first line of treatment, to the responsibility to provide to its citizens. Then when these others come in, they should give only supplementary support.
The immediate community aid program for giving food to families has not solved the hunger problem because of low funding.
So we're calling upon government to prioritize and take up the responsibility of providing meals to all the primary schools and secondary schools in Karamoja. One, it is critical in terms of attracting children in school, but secondly, it is important in ensuring that there is retention of children in schools by improving attendance and the performance of the children.
UDN suggests approaches like establishing model farms with sustainable irrigation and mechanization to utilize the available land for agriculture.
They have to provide equipments, because with these rudimentary tools that we are using, the hoes, they might not appreciate it, because given for them, they wake up in the morning, sit, or they are herding their cattle. So if there are other incentives, if they provide them with equipments like the tractors, they would appreciate, okay, we can go into cultivation, not the manual way, but this can be done. So,
Ministry of Education and Sports enrollment of primary school going pupils in Karamoja sub-region at 34,456 also puts overwhelming pressure on the food aid, especially when non-school going citizens have to be fed. Wadulo Makanold, Naiga Shakira for UBC News.
And the Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Francis Mwevesa, has challenged the newly appointed National Standard Council Board to target the manufacturers, then confiscating products from sellers. He was inaugurating the new UNBS board.
I, Charles Musakura, swear.
The Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Francis Mwevesa, has tasked the Ugandan National Bureau of Standards new board to ensure the Standards Authority to focus on the manufacturers than confiscating goods from traders.
You go down to the factory, see the batch of which you gave the conformity to the standard, and see that this man who is having your stamp saying UNBS has got a proper lab to test the goods to go to the market. And that's where you get him from. You are scientists, most of you. You have to pick a sample, and also this surprise check which you make to the shopkeeper. You go to the factories and check the goods they are making.
The chairperson board, Charles Musekula, pledged to boost UNBS's testing capacity to reduce the cost of commodity testing from abroad.
And I see a lot of tests, a lot of samples being sent to South Africa, to Egypt. The painful thing about it is that all that lab, the laboratory work being done is paid for by the Ugandans. So that's the money being denied our country and our people. So it's something that we are going to have as a board to work with you, David, to put in place quickly.
The Executive Director UNBS, however, notes that they find challenges in imports that are not tested from the countries of export.
Some of the imported products, we now demand that all these products imported in Uganda must be inspected and tested in the countries of export before they come into the country, acknowledging that our focus must be to support locally manufactured products. So imported products must be quality assured before they come into the country. And that releases us the pressure to be able to use the limited resources to man both imports and exports.
Miriam Nwamcha, UBC.
And the Chief of Defence Forces, General Wilson Mbadi, has advised youth on overcoming challenges in life. He was represented by Kano Obura Kideg at the opening of the National Boys and Girls Brigade Conference on the theme A New Connection. He thanked the church for instilling morals in youth through Boys and Girls Brigade.
The National Boys and Girls Brigade Conference has been opened at Mengo Senior School on the theme A New Connection. Participants came from different dioceses and neighboring countries. The Boys and Girls Brigade is a fellowship in the Church of
by the training and organizing secretary.
We praise the Lord that we can meet and connect once again. That's why our theme is A New Connection.
Addressing the participants, Colonel Obura Kideg, who represented the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbadi, thanked the church for instilling morals in youth and warned the youth against involving in wrong groups.
You should not be lured into cheap scheme which may lead you into criminal or terrorist bad influence group which will destroy your bright future. And as youth, be disciplined, be patient with life. Strive to know the history of your country, where you come from, where you are going, and where will you be.
The Bishop of South Ankole Diocese, Right Reverend Nathan Ahimbisiwe, said many things are taught, especially discipline, learning to do profitable things.
We are going to have trainings at all levels, because the way we are shaped up, the way we shape you. And as you can see, no one who is shaped by Boys and Girls Brigade, through all those stages, that will be nothing. I am very thankful to you.
The General Manager, Global Fellowship of Christian Youth from UK, Bill Stevenson, made remarks.
So at the moment, we have Boys and Girls Brigade in over 60 countries in the world.
Sudat Kaye, Beatrice Nanziri, UBC News.
Now, Ugandans have been asked to embrace the art of living and offer effective educational and self-development programs and tools that eliminate stress to foster profound inner peace. This has been disclosed by members of the Indian Association of Uganda that are eagerly waiting for the founder of Art of Living Uganda chapter, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, expected on the 2nd of this month.
Sensitizing the public about stress management has been identified as a major factor in order to create a violence-free society. Shamim Masembe, beneficiary of Art of Living Uganda, says there is more to learn from the Indians.
If it is an emergency, Art of Living has been to flooded areas. There's even somebody who went to Karamoja just recently and gave out boxes of food. But that is a one-off. Art of Living's main aim is to teach you that you can survive even in hard times.
Masembe says the Art of Living, working in collaboration with the International Association of Human Values, has successfully implemented numerous humanitarian projects.
We go to church, we go to mosque, and they teach us to surrender and to have faith. But they don't teach us how to do it. But with Art of Living, these techniques they teach you, you really strengthen your faith. And know that if I have not had lunch today, I know I'll have supper.
Ugandans were asked to join voluntary activities, conduct free yoga sessions to reduce stress and maintain a healthy life.
% of the toxins inside our body can be released through breath and breath alone. Yeah? But we are not even aware that we are breathing. Unless you are in a gym or running or walking, that's when you know, oh, you're breathing. Otherwise, how much attention do we give to our breath? So Art of Living's programs are all based on breathing techniques.
The Art of Living Uganda chapter has over 500 beneficiaries. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A good school doesn't tolerate violence against children.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices. Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
And on business news, Ugandans have been advised to embrace an open-door-free economy, eliminate the phobia against foreign investment because foreign investors come with cheap credit, knowledge and advanced technology. Now, while addressing the press at Media Center in Kampala, State Minister of Finance for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anita, said the meeting will promote Ugandan products across to the Indian market. She was addressing the media ahead of the Afro-Indian Investment Summit to be hosted by Uganda.
The Indian community in Uganda has achieved in banking and trade. Since 1986, the Indians have caused socio-economic transformation through industrialization and venturing in big businesses. As they celebrate 100 years, Indian Association and Uganda government have organized an Afro-Indian Investment Summit 2022 to attract investment in different areas of the economy.
Much opportunities in the 9 priority sectors: processing, energy, oil and gas, health, industrial park development, manufacturing, that have developed. They have accepted non-nationals to come to their country. So if you're going to be sectarian, really we want to do this to fight against sectarianism.
This summit will also emphasize the return of property for the departed Asians.
And really this time, if there are Ugandans who are holding the properties of these departed Asians, between now and 28th, we want to call upon them to return. Big people, I will not name their names, that the parliament is investigating having falsely taken these people's property. As we move towards celebrating this day, the directive is very clear: return their property because we want prosperity for our country.
Between 2015 and 2020, Uganda Investment Authority has licensed 228 Indian investment projects and accumulated about 20,000 jobs in manufacturing, agriculture, construction, healthcare and real estates.
And between 1991 to date, UIA, or Uganda Investment Authority, has licensed investment projects from India worth 2.3 billion United States dollars. We shall also work with partner MDAs through the one-stop center for investors to ensure that within 48 hours, investors can access the requisite services, including permits and licenses required to operate in Uganda.
The chairman, Indian Association Uganda, Rhoda Ngonzi, says they will manage successful businesses because Uganda is a profitable country.
Because there is no restriction how to use our profits. The country is fair. If an investor makes a profit in Uganda, the investor can use profits anywhere they want. They can reinvest here or somewhere else.
The summit, slated to take place between 29th and 30th September, will attract 1,000 delegates, enhance bilateral relationships and promote Uganda's unique tourism. I'm Nafka Farida and Daniel Lugemwa in Kampala.
Now, following the Uganda-Somalia Investment and Business Summit themed promoting partnership between Uganda and Somalia through trade, investment and tourism, the Ugandan Deputy Head of Missions in Somalia, Nathan Mugisha, has highlighted deliberations met in the first Joint Permanent Commission between Uganda and Somalia.
From the Memorandum of Understanding on Bilateral Trade Cooperation, Defense Cooperation signed between the governments of Uganda and Somalia, key strategies of the Business and Investment Summit were highlighted by the Ugandan officials to Somalia.
Uganda will be going to Somalia to interact with our counterparts after 2 years. That's the routine of a Joint Permanent Commission. But the business forum, this was for the business people to interact, and they had business to business, they exchanged contacts. We believe that they will start engaging and see. But if they have any challenge, we will be available to facilitate them to make sure that their businesses become a success. So we can do partnership. We can engage with them. Those with capital, we can explore. Uganda should not be scared to take opportunities.
The Deputy Head of Missions to Somalia, Ambassador Nathan Mugisha, says peace and stability of both countries play a pivotal role in the smooth flow of trade in goods and services.
We hope that they will be able to streamline the political situation, the political challenges that they are faced with. And then with the partners' continued support, we can address the issue of security, the issue of integration of the militias into the Somali National Army, and then we shall also look at other areas like financing of the insurgents.
The Secretary of Uganda Embassy to Mogadishu, Robert Mujimba, attributes the current peaceful relationship between the two countries to UPDF, which is, according to him, an enabler of the just concluded summit.
The business landscape is quite interesting. It is improving. Since we opened cargo, there is quite high demand in terms of our vegetables, in terms of our fruits, in terms of our agriculture products. So it is the basis of the security, and credit goes to UPDF and other troop contributing countries of AMSOM, now Artemis, that have helped country, some parts of Somalia, to be pacified, so that we can be able to create a room for socio-economic transformation and business communities interaction.
Somalia's plan to join the East African community will strengthen the market and cooperation framework in Somalia. Joshua Kagoro for UBC News in Kampala.
Now, advertising and communication agencies have been advised to enhance agency client relationships to boost the sector's performance and quality of services delivered to the brands they support. The aim is to professionalize the advertising industry through training, among other engagements they host that feature industry. Uganda has over 300 advertising and communication agencies that offer specialized services ranging from digital marketing to public relations. Now, Uganda Advertising Agency Chairman Frank Muthusi says that UAA has organized a number of webinars dubbed the Canvas on different topics.
And are trained. So this is the Canvas. Every month we'll continue having them. We're also planning to have like quarterly trainings where we bring a subject matter expert on certain aspects that we do. So the idea is just increase the knowledge. In November, we're going to have our awards. We're calling them the Silverbacks Awards, where now we will start evaluating the campaigns we are doing. Okay? If they can win in Uganda, well and good. Then we're also going to partner with the association in Kenya, and so the association in Kenya is going to become the advertising awards, where Kenya and Uganda we are partnering for the first time. So these awards, can these agencies also compete with Kenyan agencies? I'm hoping that we shall have a few agencies that win on this thing. The next thing, towards December, I want to see if we can, we can participate in the lorries, which happens in South Africa. This is an African thing. And then next year in April, there is the Cannes, which is a global thing. So the idea is expose Ugandan agencies to all these world-class standards of advertising.
Hey, wanna race? I will lose you. You wish.
And on sports, 3 days to the Under-13 National Youth Football Championships. Uganda's Youth Football Association has received match balls for the tournament. FUFA donated 60 balls for the games that start on the 16th till the 21st of this month. The maiden games will host both boys and girls competing for the trophies and qualifications to compete at the East African Games. FUFA looks at incorporating such tournaments as avenues of identifying and nurturing talent.
Uganda Youth Football Association for our Under-13 ongoing championship that is in Valley. We are grateful that FUFA has come up to assist and support the young children, the Under-13s that are actually in Valley, and we pray that I'm very grateful that this tournament goes on successfully, and we are going to give these balls to all schools that came from different academies around the country, all those schools that have come up to participate in the Uganda Youth Football Tournament that is in Imbare at Nkoma Secondary School. We pray that the children are safe and they're going to use these balls to develop. Thank you so much, FUFA. We are very grateful and we appreciate all the support that has been rendered to us.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll leave you with the weather update. Good night.
Pleasure having you for this weather update. I'm Daphne Kavasita Samba from Uganda National Meteorological Authority, and thanks for joining UBC. Most parts of the country today had cloudy conditions in the morning hours, though some few areas had sunny intervals. Later in the afternoon, most parts of Uganda had cloudy conditions, with some areas having thunder showers. According to a report that received today morning, Entebbe reports the highest amount of rainfall of 20.0 millimeters. Bushenyi we had 11.0 millimeters, and then Toro we had 2.3 millimeters. Checking on the satellite image of Africa, we see there are winds that are coming in from Congo towards our country, contributing to the winds and the rains that we are having, especially in the western part of the country. We are also getting winds that are coming in from Indian Ocean towards our country. This has led the rain belt to be over our country, contributing to the rains that we are having in most parts of Uganda. For tomorrow, we are expecting to start the day with sunny intervals in most parts of Uganda, apart from some few areas that will have cloudy conditions with isolated showers. For example, Arua, western part of the country, and also some few areas around Lake Victoria. Later in the afternoon, thunder showers are expected in most parts of Uganda. Temperatures are expected to rise to 26 in most parts of Uganda, apart from some few areas that will have 22 degrees Celsius. For example, Kabale, some few areas will have, Kasese will have 27 degrees Celsius. Going beyond Uganda, we're expecting Nairobi to have sunny intervals, and also Dubai with temperatures rising to 45 degrees Celsius, that is in Dubai. New York, London and Paris, we're expecting showers with temperatures rising to 24 degrees Celsius, that is in New York. That's what we had in us, so continue tuning into UBC. Have a blessed evening.